What happens when your quarterback sounds more like a fan than a leader, and does it in front of the entire NFL? Let me lay it out for you. Tua Tagovailoa, once the pride of Alabama, stood before reporters and basically said, "Josh Allen is better than me. He throws farther, runs faster, leads better." Then AJ McCarron, another Crimson Tide legend, heard that and couldn't stay quiet. He said what no one else dared to say out loud. That kind of humility, it might just be weakness in disguise. And in the NFL, weakness doesn't go unnoticed, it gets devoured. This story isn't just about stats or poor play calling, it's about identity, leadership, and a franchise teetering between promise and collapse. But before we dig into that, let me ask you to do something that makes a real difference. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. This channel is building something with you, a movement. We need your help to hit 500 new subscribers with this video. Watch till the end, even if you're multitasking. Let it play. Trust me, there's a surprise at the end that only those who stay get. And by subscribing, you don't miss what's coming next. You'll be first, while others are left behind wondering how they missed it. If we hit the goal, we'll unlock an exclusive behind-the-scenes video exposing the untold truths inside the Dolphins locker room. Let's make this happen. Now, back to Tua. There's a difference between being respectful and being deferential to the point of invisibility. When Tua praised Josh Allen, as seen on foxnews.com, his tone wasn't just admiration, it sounded like resignation. "I can't do half of what he does," he admitted, eyes low. For a moment, it felt like the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins had given up on himself. AJ McCarron, NyePost.com, with mobile fire in his voice, fired back. "Where I'm from, you talk, you're censured, or you don't survive." That wasn't shade, it was a warning. A leader who shrinks doesn't just fail himself, he pulls the whole damn team down with him. And right now, that's exactly what's happening in Miami. What if the very system designed to elevate you is built against the way your brain works? That's the silent war Tua Tagovailoa has been fighting and losing. The West Coast offensive scheme that Mcdaniel brought from San Francisco was crafted for a right-handed quarterback, a mirror world compared to Tua. Routes break wrong, pocket timing is off. Even the way the ball spins out of his hand, counterclockwise instead of clockwise, throws receivers off balance. One Dolphins insider told BuffaloDown.com that pass protections have repeatedly collapsed on the blind side because the offense is protecting the wrong shoulder. Imagine dropping back every play, knowing you're half a second late before the snap even hits your hands. AJ McCarron sees it clearly. He said in the interview that once defenses get enough film, they figure out what's coming, and that's already happened. "Defensive coaches have caught up. They're sitting on our plays," he warned. And that's not just theory, it's showing on tape, on SB Nation. Tua ranks among the worst in EPA per dropback, and his average time to throw is now the slowest in the league. The game isn't slowing down for him, it's speeding up. The scheme hasn't evolved, but the defenses have, and Tua's left improvising in a system not built for him. And behind closed doors, the pressure is nuclear. According to CBSSports.com, after the Week 1 disaster against the Colts, Mcdaniel said, "Tua didn't execute." A rare direct shot from coach to quarterback. Inside the locker room, that lands like a grenade. A team already cracked by doubt feels their leader cracking too. Sources say Tua's body language at practice is noticeably withdrawn, his voice lower in huddles. The mental toll is growing. He's not just reading defenses. He's trying to survive in a system misaligned with his instincts, in a franchise that's slowly losing faith. It started with a banner, slicing through the sky above Hard Rock Stadium like a blade. "Fire Greer, fire Mcdaniel." It wasn't a chant. It wasn't a tweet. It was a public execution in plain sight. And down below, The crowd sat in eerie silence, not the roar of loyal fans, but the stillness of a courtroom before a guilty verdict. This wasn't just about a bad game. It was about a fan base that no longer believed in its leader. Once upon a time, Tua Tagovailoa was Alabama royalty, the kid who walked into national title games and delivered miracles. But now, 3 years into his NFL journey, fans barely recognize him. According to TheFinsider.com, Dolphins fan confidence has plummeted from 45% to just 5% in a matter of weeks. After the humiliating loss to the Colts, that number didn't just represent disappointment, it screamed betrayal. Even in interviews, as reported by LarryBrownSports.com, Tua acknowledged the boos, saying fans have the right to feel that way. But it wasn't what he said. It was how he said it, detached, quiet, almost like he agreed with them. And then came the story AJ McCarron never planned to share. Off camera, during a private scrimmage last season, Tua reportedly broke down after failing 3 consecutive drills. Not from physical exhaustion, but from something deeper. According to AJ, he just sat on the sideline, helmet off, head in his hands, didn't say a word, just let the tears fall. No media, no cameras, just a raw human moment of a young man cracking under invisible pressure. That story never made it out, until now, because it says more about this season than any stat ever could. When the whispers start coming from inside the house, the collapse is no longer a question. It's a countdown. Sources close to the Dolphins' locker room, as reported by TalkSport.com and ProFootballNetwork.com, say the vibe has changed. Tyreek Hill, once Tua's most vocal supporter, is reportedly frustrated. The team is loaded with Super Bowl caliber talent, yet they can't produce a 100-yard game from their star receivers. The disconnect between potential and performance is no longer tactical, it's personal. And frustration doesn't stay bottled up for long. In a tense moment after a misfired deep ball in Week 2, AJ McCarron claims Hill slammed his tablet to the turf and muttered, "That ain't the Alabama kid anymore." You can feel it in the body language. Wide receivers walking back to the huddle a beat slower, sideline conversations growing quieter or more volatile. According to bollerveep.com, even Coach McDaniel has begun addressing locker room energy in vague pressers. But the real question isn't what's being said, it's what Tua isn't saying. He hears it all, the doubts, the critiques, the comparisons, but he doesn't clap back, doesn't demand the room, doesn't rise. AJ said it best on NyePost.com. At some point, you gotta flip the switch. You can't be sweet inside those white lines. And yet Tua remains quiet, polite, a quarterback caught between being the nice guy and being the guy. And in the NFL, those roles rarely overlap. The longer he hesitates, the louder the silence around him gets. AJ McCarron didn't sugarcoat it. He never does. In one of the most piercing analogies ever dropped on live air, he looked dead into the camera and said, "At Alabama, you're born a soldier. In the NFL, you either become a general soon or a target." That line hit like a freight train, not just because it was raw, but because it was true. Tua Tagovailoa, the kid who once commanded the national spotlight, now walks a fine line between being a leader and being led. And the choice, painful as it may be, is still his to make. His journey reads like a classic hero's tale, except the climax hasn't arrived yet. He came from Iowa Beach, rose under Saban's ruthless machine, delivered a national title as a freshman, and was hailed as the savior of a franchise starved for greatness. But fast forward to today, and that savior is quietly drowning in a system not made for him, a locker room losing belief, and a city screaming for answers. The numbers from SBNation.com, the outrage from NyePost.com, and the quiet whispers from inside the locker room, bollervip.com, TalkSport.com, Pro Football Network. All tell the same story. Something's broken, not just in the scheme, but in the soul. And yet there's still a flicker of light. Greatness doesn't disappear. It gets buried, under pressure, under doubt, under expectations. But it can be unearthed. Tua still has the mechanics. He still has the mind. What he's missing isn't talent, it's fire. That edge, that mobile dog-in-you fire, as AJ put it. The kind that doesn't ask for permission to lead, it demands the room. Maybe it starts with one deep ball that hits. Maybe with one pre-game speech where he doesn't just thank his teammates, but reminds them who the hell he is. Maybe it begins the moment he stops trying to be the nice guy and starts being the guy. Leadership isn't about who you were, it's about who you decide to become when the weight gets unbearable. And maybe that's Tua's final test, not to win the game, but to win himself back. Thanks for making it this far. If this story resonated with you, we've left something special in the pinned comment. An exclusive ebook with behind-the-scenes stories, emotional lessons, and truths never aired. All about leadership, legacy, and resilience in the NFL. If it makes sense for you, grab your copy. It's one way to support this channel and help us keep bringing stories like this to life.